I don't know, this is a informational piece or a behind the scenes or something. Um, but I thought I'd make this video because a lot of families will feel like they can, because of templates that are available on sites like Canva and Etsy and other places, you can do it yourself. And in most cases, you probably can, but there's so many other hidden issues that will you'll be hit with that's going to add to your frustration in an already stressful time. So, what I wanted to do is kind of share some of these things in real time because it just kind of shows the difference between you families doing it on your own, which I really wouldn't advise that you do, considering that this is just another decision you have to make with dozens and dozens of decisions that you're already having to deal with within a short period of time. So, what I'm doing, and I'll give you the background of the scenario here. One of the funeral homes that we've been working with for well over 10 years came to us and said that the family has given them a template, one that they did on their own, and they wanted them to print it. Now, I already know that you're doing it's a small print run, so it's a small service. So families, in those situations are not really looking to, you know, spend a lot of money on the print part of this. However, because they're doing it on their own and they don't know the things that we know that we can handle for them and so forth, that they're going to end up spending a lot more than they really anticipated. And I just want to create this video to give you some information to keep this from happening. So, first of all, um, I've already gone in and fixed a lot of stuff. So you're kind of getting the tail end of some of these things, and I'm just kind of doing what we call our last checks to fix some things. But as you can see, there are some things that it's like, okay, you can get away with, and some things that you really can't, and some things that you just have to fix because you know the family really wants that and because of how they gave it to you. So, for instance, one things that you can't really, it's not a big thing to that you can let slide is the names here for the pallbearers. It's not fully centered. You can actually see that it's kind of leaning towards this way, whereas if we actually brought a line, the E should be right there, just as an estimate. Even this pallbearers themselves should be actually moved over to here. That's some of the things that we would have fixed already. The family wanted this originally, and I'm going to back up so you can see how I'm fixing this. So, first of all, there's some diction things. As you can see, it's supposed to be funeral service, not memorial service. That can be, that's semantics. So you could say funeral service, you could say memorial service. Then also last minute change was that the time got changed. Originally so the family would actually the funeral home would have to tell the family, you need to go back in and fix these things. That's going to add to the time and the frustration that the family has. Then they have to go back into most likely Canva, make those edits, re-export it, send it back again. Time, frustration. You don't have to deal with that when you just let us take care of it. Here's the other thing. All the images run to the edge of the page, which means that they want it to bleed. Whereas if you print it on your own, what's going to end up happening is there's no printer that can print image edge to the edge, unless you're talking like inkjet printers. They can, but most laser printers, ones that are designed for high production, will not do that. What they'll actually do is they'll print like a little edge around, which is their margin that's pre-designed based on each printer. So it'll end up looking like this. Let's bring that up. So it'll probably end up looking like that. And if you imagine that on every single page, if I copy that, here it's not going to make a difference. Here it will, And here it will. And this is another issue that we'll get into. So that's not even supposed to be there. So that's one thing. The other thing that we have to fix is making sure this actually runs edge to edge. Now, the other issue is how this prints. Here's another issue that we would have caught and fixed, the space here. These are small little things, but to some that can be a big issue. Notice how many pages there are here. There's 6 pages. When you print, everything has to be in 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Because of how the page prints. It prints and it gets folded in half. So you can't do 6 pages. Now, so that means you either have to add 2 more pages to make this 8 and make it a booklet, or what we'll be able to do to fix this is make this a slip sheet that slips in between. But I already know families are not going to want to be looking for something like that. I thought I fixed that. So here are some other things, that we will end up fixing. So let me grab this, bring this over here. And then I also still have to fix the bleed. So, I already did fix it here. So as you can see, there was an I, lowercase I before. This is supposed to be an I. Try to match the baseline here. Maybe up. Yeah, that's good. And then another one here. So, and now we'll group all that together so it stays together. So now to fix this, is this purple? Yep, it is purple. So here's the other part that we have to fix. So now this is actually a full bleed. So again, if you remember what I did before with the little white border going around, that would be there. Now most families probably won't care about that, but because they're actually going to pay extra for this and we have the ability to fix it, I'm going to just fix it for them. So to fix that background, use my eyedropper to grab it. Will it be 100% exact? Probably not, but it's going to be hard to tell by the naked eye. And so now to fix this so that this prints correctly, we're going to add 2 more pages. Come on. And what I'm going to do is bring it out so that it's a full bleed. And then do the same thing over here. And what I will end up doing is printing it full size, cutting it in half, and then inserting it into the program. So let's get this background, pull that background in, arrange, send to back. So now with this one, because I made these edits, I kind of have to treat it a little differently. And it's object, arrange, send to back. And what I'm actually trying to fix is just this here so that I have a clean edge to cut on. And so we fixed there. We got to fix the bleed here. Now these are just the expectations that families will have in doing this on their own. Group this. That we'll end up having to fix to make sure that they're getting what they're expecting. However, can't get around the extra cost that it's going to incur, because it's going to cost us extra paper, larger paper, and so forth to print this, when they probably really just wanted one of our standard programs, or the standard programs that we create. But now, I can't really fix this here, so that's going to have to fly. And I can't fix this here, that's going to have to fly, because I'm not sure what typeface this is. So I can only try to match it as best I can. We're good over here. We're still well within the margins, so nothing's going to get cut off and it'll still be full bleed. This is fixed here. So we're good there. And probably would have capitalized Psalms or put the dash here so that it actually stands out on its own separate, but still calls back to the scripture quote that's here. Those are little things. So who knows how long the family took in doing this. I think usually the average time, if you're not including the production, is between 6 hours per family. But we pretty much could have done this design, printed, out the door in probably 4 hours or so, and spared the family a huge headache. And there's another issue. It's actually not Humboldt Ave, it's actually Humboldt Ave, but I can't fix that because I don't really know this typeface. And if I even try to use this and put this in here, it's going to be too much mixing and it's going to look funny, and the family will probably end up being even more upset. So we're going to have to let those things fly. But I just wanted to share this because I care. I know that you're already going through enough things, and having to become a graphic designer, having to know print production and things like that, that's just something you don't have to deal with when you're already grieving. And I just want to spare you of that. This is why we started Cherished Keepsakes, to use our skills to help honor your loved one's legacies and create something that's more complementary to your loved one. So just let me know what you think about this, whether you agree or not. Thank you for watching, and I'm wishing the best honoring legacies in your care.